Thank you. I kind of got thrown in this at the deep end and very last minute, so I wrote my speech down. I hope you're okay with that. Can you all hear me at the back? This is important. Thank you for coming out today. It's amazing to see so many people. I heard from Kuni last March we only had about 80, so I reckon that we beat that one by quite a bit. You guys can be very proud of yourselves. I know that it's not everyone's dream to be married, but it's always been mine. I married my wife a year ago in March in the most beautiful ceremony in Knysna. We got married on a beach. We went on a club cruiser across the Knysna Lagoon, and we had a big reception on an island, the Featherbed Island. We had a huge celebration. It was the most beautiful, special day of our lives. And just the thought that someone could actually have no respect for that love and those sacred vows that we shared actually blows my mind. I can't get my head around it. It's so hard to comprehend love between individuals regardless of their sexual preference. How can it be that hard? Everybody falls in love. From my viewpoint, I know that in the heterosexual world, a man falls in love with a woman and a woman falls in love with a man. I don't get it because it's not natural to me. I don't know if you understand that. But I would never assume I have the right to say to him, you can't do that. It's their life. It's not my life. It's not my problem. It doesn't affect me. So the fact that someone feels they can actually say that about my marriage, I'm sorry, but that's wrong. Yes. The LGBTI community found themselves in a bit of an awkward situation. Because we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. If we conform to what society thinks and wants, then society are happy, but we're not. And if we don't conform, society are happy, we're still not happy. We're not happy either way. IT wins every time. And that for me is a big problem. I'm one of the lucky ones. I found my peace in myself. But there are so many people out there who haven't found their peace. I think these batteries are going. Whichever way you choose, it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. But we're here today not because of the emotional roller coaster, we're here because it's become political again. We thought we'd been down this road. We thought we'd achieve freedom and the right to live our lives in peace, but we thought wrong. This is what I know. The only reason the ANC distanced itself from Feminist's comments was because of the public outcry. Before that, they were actually going to consider it. The fact that we even had to make a big noise about it to achieve that means we have not won, and we are being prematurely complacent. There are always going to be those who are determined to try and break others down. I know it won't be the last time that something like this happens. I think that fighting is hard for us as a community because we're kind of loving sensitive bunch. We aren't fighters, not all of us anyway. We have a handful that fight for us, but please bear in mind that for them it's not easy. We've all been down this path. We all take it very hard when someone criticizes us and tells us we're an abomination and it's not natural. When you put yourself in the fighting line, it's that much harder. So bear that in mind for the people who are fighting for you because you can't fight for yourself. And I'm not saying you don't want to. I battle to fight. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. I'm a sensitive being. You can't please everyone, and there are those who are always going to think that they know better than us. We are right, we are wrong, and they are right. Of course, we know you're right. There may be a few cynics among us who are going to roll their eyeballs at what I have to say next. My personal opinion is that it's only because they don't personally know us that they continue to fight us. That's why I think it's so important to be out and proud, especially for people in the public eye. If you think about it, once you get to know someone and hear their story, it's very hard for you to hate them, unless of course they're a complete jerk. People fear what they don't understand, and what people fear, they're going to attack. Our job is to make them get to know us and love us before they can leave us attack. Our job is to get people to know a member of the LGBTI community personally. The more people that know us, the bigger a support base we get, the harder it is for the naysayers to make themselves heard. My wife and I personally know many people who don't necessarily think being gay is right, but they will defend us to the death because they know us and they love us and they can't deny that we are good people. We're not asking people to conform to our way of thinking. We're really asking them to let us live our lives without their 2 cents to it. That's all we're asking. If you're not a fighter, this is how you can do your bit for your community. Let your lives be an example. Show them how seriously you take your relationships and your marriage vows by treating them as the sacred things they are. Show them that you know you are worth it in the way you live your life. It doesn't mean to flaunt the big chip on your shoulder. I mean, show them that being LGBTI doesn't automatically make you a child molester, a drug addict, an alcoholic, promiscuous. We are not part of a gay agenda here to take over the world. We're just normal people. We just want to live our lives. Marches like today are good, and they're necessary, even if no one will take a memorandum at the end of it all. At the very least, in the last couple of weeks, we as a community have reached so many people and touched so many lives, whether we know it or not. You are part of something powerful. And you are making a difference. Things can change in a heartbeat, and the LGBTI community needs to stand together now more than ever. Next time we face something like this, and we will, it will be even bigger because of today. Let's keep the momentum. Let's start a revolution. If you are good, because we are good.